Imagine you're just a kid and you've gone on a vacation trip somewhere, but once you get there, something terrifying happens. Your body starts aging rapidly. You go from being a child to a grown-up to an old person, all in a single day. How would you feel? Would you try to fight for your life, or just give in and let yourself die? That's exactly what happens in this chilling movie. The movie opens with a family. The mother's name is Priska, the father is Guy, and their two kids, 6-year-old Trent and 11-year-old Maddox. The family decides to go on a beautiful island vacation, possibly their last trip together. They arrive at a luxurious resort where the staff gives them a warm welcome and offers them some special drinks. Trent quickly befriends a boy named Idlib, the nephew of the hotel manager. Maddox, on the other hand, feels a bit lonely. She's having a hard time making friends. Priska and Guy's relationship is clearly falling apart. Priska is secretly suffering from a medical condition, though the kids don't know about it. One morning, while the family is having breakfast, the hotel manager approaches them with a special suggestion. He tells them about a private beach, a hidden gem that only a few lucky guests ever get to visit. The manager insists they should check it out and arranges a bus to take them there. As soon as they get on the bus, Trent finds a secret note from Idlib. Another family joins them on the trip. It includes an elderly mother, her son Charles, a doctor, his glamorous and beauty-obsessed wife Crystal, and their young daughter Kara. The bus drives both families to the far side of the island, where the driver hands them loads of food and supplies before dropping them off. Soon everyone makes their way to the beach, which is surrounded by steep cliffs, a secluded and eerie spot. There's already one person there, a famous rapper named Mid-Size Sedan, who Maddox instantly recognizes. Everyone begins to relax and do their own thing, but something just feels off. There are no fish in the water, and the kids discover old rusted utensils and strange leftover items in the sand. As they play a game of hide and seek, things take a dark turn. While Trent is hiding, a woman's dead body suddenly floats in with the waves. It's the same woman who had arrived at the beach with the rapper. Everyone panics. Mid-Size Sedan claims he didn't harm her. He explains she had gone swimming and just never came back. Everyone suddenly became very anxious. They all tried calling for help, but no one had any cell signal. Just then, another couple arrived on the beach, Jaren, who is a nurse, and his wife Patricia. When they hear about the dead body, Jaren tries to leave by the same path, but suddenly he blacks out, and when he wakes up, he finds himself back on the beach. Charles was still suspicious of Sedan. Meanwhile, Crystal comes running in, shouting that her mother is very sick. Charles's mother was already elderly, but due to rapidly aging, she passes away within minutes. Everyone is shocked and confused by this. Their panic intensifies when they look at their children, Trent and Maddox. They had grown up, physically much older now. Their parents couldn't even recognize them. Sedan, terrified by everything going on, tries to escape the beach, but Charles chases him. Both of them black out and again wake up on the same beach. At this point, everyone splits up trying to find a way out, but each time they pass out and end up right back where they started. It becomes clear to everyone that something is seriously wrong. They also realize that their bodies are aging at an incredibly fast rate. Charles becomes convinced that Sedan is behind all this, and in a fit of rage, attacks him with a knife, slashing him across the face. But strangely, Sedan's wound heals instantly. Meanwhile, the three kids start feeling intense hunger. Their bodies were aging and their needs were changing fast. Everything was happening so quickly that no one could keep up. Jaren suggests there might be only one way out. They'd have to swim across the ocean, but the currents are so strong it's nearly impossible. Suddenly, Priska doubles over in pain and loses consciousness. She had an illness in her abdomen. Jaren starts searching for a way to treat her. Everyone watches as he begins operating on Priska right there on the beach. Time is moving so quickly that it's disorienting, but somehow Jaren manages to save her. The disease inside her had grown to the size of a coconut. Priska regains consciousness and realizes that she's been cured, and it didn't cost her a thing. Meanwhile, Sedan goes to check the girl's dead body again, only to find that it has completely decomposed. Nothing left but bones. Normally this would take around 6 years, but they had only been on the beach for 3 hours. This means that 1 hour on this beach equals 2 years in real life. If they don't leave soon, they'll age 50 years in just a single day and then die of old age right there. Trent and Kara were playing together, but no one could have imagined how tragically things would end. While playing with Trent, Kara ends up getting pregnant, which leaves everyone completely completely shocked. Because time was moving abnormally fast, the baby in Kara's womb developed rapidly. Soon, the group had to help her deliver the baby. But the strange time flow proved too overwhelming for the newborn. Within just a few minutes, the baby passed away. That moment shook everyone to their core. At this point, nobody could think straight. Charles, who was already mentally unstable, gets into a violent fight with mid-sized Sedan, which ends with Sedan's death. It's revealed that Charles suffers from psychotic episodes. The tension and fear become too much, and Jaren decides to swim out through the ocean to get help. After he leaves, the rest of the group slowly starts to realize a disturbing truth. Every single person brought to this beach has some kind of serious medical condition. Priska, Sedan, Crystal, all of them. Even Patricia, who suffers from epilepsy. But the weirdest part? Since arriving at the beach, Patricia hadn't had a single seizure. That's when suspicions start rising. Maybe this was all part of some kind of experiment. Meanwhile, high up on a cliff, a mysterious stranger is watching them through binoculars. It becomes clear that a much bigger secret is hiding behind everything happening here. Maddox, who was only 11 years old not long ago, hears her mother Priska talking about having an affair and feels shattered. She can't understand why her mom wants to divorce her dad. Struggling with her emotions, Maddox goes and sits by the water. Jaren, who had tried to escape by sea, must have blacked out and drowned. It becomes painfully obvious that escaping by swimming is impossible. Trent and Kara, still grieving the loss of their baby, were burdened by a deeper sorrow. They had never truly lived their childhood. Overwhelmed by emotion, Kara climbs the rocky cliffs, maybe hoping that reaching a high point will somehow lead to an escape. The others call out, trying to stop her, but she doesn't listen. As she ascends higher, dizziness takes over. She loses her footing and falls to her death. Meanwhile, Patricia considers swimming out to get help, but before she can act, she suddenly suffers a violent seizure and right there. Now, only Guy and Priska remain, and they're aging rapidly. Guy's vision is failing, and Priska has gone deaf in one ear. By evening, the two realize they no longer have time for resentment or arguments. Guy opens up to Priska, admitting that he had known about her affair all along. Priska breaks down and apologizes. They let go of their past mistakes and try to understand each other. This reconciliation might be their final chance to spend their remaining time in peace. Elsewhere, Trent and Maddox continue exploring and stumble upon a stash of belongings, items that likely belong to previous visitors who never made it out. Among the items, they find a notebook written by a writer before he died. The pages document his final days, his experiences on the beach, and a list of names and addresses of others who were trapped there. The writer believed that the rapid aging was due to the island's strange magnetism and the unique minerals in the surrounding rocks. He speculated that there might be more such places around the world. Back on the beach, Charles suffers another violent psychotic episode and attacks Guy. Guy manages to survive the attack. Trent and Maddox, trying to hide, retreat into a cave, only to find Crystal already there. She had come to the cave to hide her aging face, ashamed of how she looked, but due to severe calcium deficiency, her bones were so brittle she could barely move. She tries to chase the kids, but her bones keep breaking, one after the other. Eventually, the pain and injuries become unbearable, and she dies, alone and broken. Meanwhile, Charles is completely unhinged and keeps attacking Guy. Priska steps in to protect her family. In the struggle, an accident occurs, and Charles dies. Now, only Trent, Maddox, Guy, and Priska are left on the beach. They've given up hope of escaping. Instead, they decide to spend whatever time they have left together. There's a heavy sense of regret. If only they had valued time when they had it. Eventually, Guy quietly passes away as he sits beside Priska. A short while later, Priska too takes her last breath. Now, only Trent and Maddox are left, two aging souls stranded in a place that stole their family, their youth, and their time. By the next morning, they're nearly 50 years old. They know they probably won't survive the day, but rather than give in, they choose to spend their last hours doing something meaningful together. Just then, Trent discovers a secret letter. As he decodes it, he realizes it's a clue. It says his uncle doesn't like coral. That was a subtle hint. Coral might be the way out. Holding on to this hope, Trent and Maddox swim toward the coral reef. There, they find a tunnel hidden beneath the surface. They dive in, trying to pass through it, when it suddenly, Maddox's clothes get stuck in the coral. Trent tries hard to save her, but both of them start drowning. All of this is being watched from above. The resort driver is filming everything. He calls the manager and reports that the experiment is complete, and he's heading back with the data. The driver then reaches a medical research facility. one that belongs to a pharmaceutical company called Warren Corporation. And now, the dark truth is revealed. Warren Corp is known for developing new medications, and they test them on these unsuspecting tourists. The welcome drinks offered to them upon arrival were spiked with trial medicines, and the manager would then send them to that mysterious beach. Warren Corp could complete long-term drug trials in just a single day. While they made millions in profits, innocent lives were being sacrificed. Trent and Maddox are still alive. They had made it out of the coral tunnel and escaped. As soon as they reach land, they head straight to Officer Mitchell. The same guy Trent had met earlier in the movie. Trent shows him a notebook containing the names and addresses of all the people they had arrived at the beach when they were just 11 years old. And now, they're both in their 50s. Their lives have changed forever. And that's where the story ends.